And I am live. Whoa! Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I've moved all my gubbins about, which I think that's okay. That looks pretty decent to me. Do diddle do do do. Right, let me get that up and then all sorted. Hello, hello, hello. I hope we are all well. And I hope you've brought some alcohol because I have. I've got my San Miguel's. There we go. And I've got, what have I got? There you go. San Miguel. My favourite beer. So, San Miguel, if you're watching, sponsor. Thank you. That'll do me. Anyway, let me clear that. Hello, Turtle Moves. Yes, big news coming up. Trying to get a few more viewers in. There's 3, including me. So we'll get a couple more in, and then I will announce the big news that's coming up. Nothing regarding the channel, just something regarding me. 5, we've got 5 in. Brilliant. Let me get that. Let me get that up. Let me get that up. There we go. Let me get the chat ready. That's good. George Hines, our Hans. Hello, hello. How you doing, brother? I hope you are well. Let me have a quick slurp. Hello, Lauren. Oh, there we go. Hello, hello. Let's see how many's watching. 6, brilliant watching, and 1 like. If you've not liked the stream, please click like. Thank you. I'm going to click like after when I watch it back again. Because I'm that narcissistic. You're lurking. Second best Bob. I've seen you about on other channels. I've seen you on Mr. Sensible's channel on these live streams, and I've seen you on other live streams. So, hello, welcome to my porky little corner of the YouTubies. Does mean a lot. Yep, there he is. Second best Bob. Cars and stuff. Hey, Cheeky. How you doing, Cheeky? Let's get a couple more viewers in. 5. Yeah, 2 likes. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lauren, why don't you do a super chat? Lauren's my daughter, so yes, you should super chat me, actually, I think. Anyway, right, yes. Before we get on with laughing at Jeranism and his complete, you're all over the place. Before we start laughing at Jeranism and his complete lack of understanding of the globe model, I have some big news. Now, here we go. Matt Powell has accepted my challenge to a debate, and it was due to happen in the very, very early hours of Saturday morning at 1 a.m. However, thanks, Cheeky. However, there's been some correspondence between myself and Matt on Twitter, and he has asked, can he postpone it for 24 hours? So yes, I've said that. I'm gonna post it on the community page on my channel. I'm gonna post it on Twitter as well. When the discussion will actually take place. It's taking place on a channel that I don't believe is neutral, and it's being moderated by a guy I don't believe can be neutral, but this is the way that it's going to happen. Otherwise, a chat between me and Matt Powell isn't going to happen otherwise. So it's going to be a chat about a discussion about creation and evolution, and what I really want to discuss with him is his claims that evolution teaches that dinosaurs farted themselves to death, and also about surfing monkeys. Studying his swear words. Yeah. I did agree with Matt Powell's request not to use any profanity while I'm having a chat with him, which is absolutely fine and dandy. And anybody who's on the evolution side, I'm not addressing this to you. Yeah, I agree, second best Bob. I'm not addressing this to you. I'm addressing this to people on the creationist side because I know that people who support evolution can behave themselves. But if anybody who supports Matt Powell, if anybody is in the side chat when I have this chat with Matt, please, please, please be respectful, and that's all I can say really. I'm going to be respectful towards Matt Powell. He is going to be respectful towards me, and that's the way it should go. I'm not a fan of dumpster fires or anything like that, so I'm looking forward to a really good, open, cordial discussion, if you will. We're never going to agree on the same things, but you know that's just the way things are, basically. And I just want to mention uh, what a sorry situation that's happening in the Ukraine. It's absolutely disgusting. Putin quite clearly is a warmongering maniac. Uh, just checking for any missiles. No, it's all right. He's quite clearly a maniac, a power-hungry maniac, all because the Ukraine wants to, or is in discussions to join NATO. But they've been doing this for the past 10 years. So why Putin is doing it now, I don't know. Yes, yes, no spam. I totally agree. Matt Powell's tactic: find a study, misrepresent it. That's been my shtick all along with Matt Powell. He finds a study, just reads the headline, and completely misrepresents it. Totally, totally. And that's my contention, and that's hopefully what we're going to chat about when we get this discussion going. Say back, Bob, what channel is it on? It is on God TV Radio. I'm going to post a link if you sub to my channel. I'm going to post a link on my community page. I'm going to tweet it out as well. It's it's a channel called God TV Radio, and it's run by Brett Keane. Now, this is my contention with Brett Keane. He is a Matt Powell fanboy and is a Kent Hovind fanboy. So obviously he's not going to be neutral, but this is the only channel. I did suggest other channels to Matt Powell, but for one reason or another, he turned them down and suggested Brett Keane's channel. So we're going to have it on Brett Keane's channel. I don't believe he's going to be neutral. I believe that I will be either sabotaged or what have you, or they're going to use some tactics to try and upset my status quo, as it were. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, but I'm ready for that. I'll show you the notes that I've made. I've already done my opening statement. I've recorded that. So these are all my notes. Look at the state of all this. There's about 7 pages there. And a few pages here, all filled with notes that I'm going to be referring to. Charlie Welchie! How you doing, matey? So I've got pages and pages of notes. I've done my opening statement. I've recorded my opening statement. I've given evidence for my side of things. He doesn't say no spam. He doesn't say. Charlie Welchie, there he is. Yeah, it is a YouTube channel, Second Best Bob, yeah. No spam. He doesn't explain how the dinosaurs died out. He thinks that evolution teaches that they farted themselves to death. And I show evidence that that's just not the case whatsoever. So I'm hoping to have that discussion with him. I've said I want this discussion with him, and I've always said that. I also, during my opening statement, offer some evidence for evolution. I admit that I don't know anything about evolution. That's the case. But I offer my evidence, something that convinces me that evolution is true and scientifically factual. And yeah, how can a channel called God TV Radio be seen as independent? It can't. Brett Keane has messaged me and said he will be independent, but then in another message, he said he is obviously biased but he and Matt Powell want to see me in the kingdom of heaven. They want to make sure I go to heaven. What utter codswallop. So, in other words, he wants me dead. Oh, crikey, I don't like that very much. Kent Orvind. Looks like Lee Majors. No. No. Yeah, it's second base bomb. It's suffocated on their own fat. It sounds absolutely bonkers. And I've got undeniable evidence that this is not what evolution teaches. And what I don't want to give the game away too much, but I have got undeniable evidence that Matt Powell is being, shall we say, deceptive. I've got undeniable evidence, but you'll have to tune into the discussion. This is why I wanted it billed as a discussion. I don't want it billed as a debate because it's on a non-neutral channel with a non-neutral moderator and somebody that I don't trust. That's why I wanted it billed as a discussion and not a debate, because I don't want to lend any credence to the channel or the moderator. Right, shall we get on with this debate? Aron Ra with Jeranism. Actually, this is billed as a discussion as well. So let's get on with this, and we'll see what we can see. Where are we? There we go. Boosh.
Deception in science. That's what you said.
Yeah, in other words, checking other people's math to verify that it is correct, seeking out and exposing any flaws. Not remotely similar to the word holy by anyone's definition.
Okay, by saying that,
Lee Majors, best programming he's ever been in? No, it's not the Bionic Man. It is the Fall Guy. I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I told ladies plenty. There you go. I've got that on before. I don't think Matt's spying on me. No, I don't think he is. But I've got a feeling that he may not sabotage, but try and get me off topic and try and throw me off my game as much as he possibly can. And I think that's what the moderator, Brett Keane, will do as well. But I'm ready for all that. I've got all my notes here, so it should be really good. I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've told ladies plenty.
Basically saying that all science will take care of itself and there is no inherent problems in peer review.
So even though self-correcting process.
Sorry,
that's correct.
Sorry. Let me know if you can hear the stream. Okay. You can hear the video, sorry.
No, there's been studies done that have looked at peer review and have shown clearly that when you have a self-congratulating method like...
Not congratulating.
Well,
peer review is not self-congratulating. It is quite the opposite.
Can we do this?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is quite the opposite.
Can we make this?
Definitely the opposite. Because you're seeking out. The only way you can be rich and famous in science is if you can upset the status quo. You have to be able to prove somebody.
Shut up! Steve's trying to talk here. Come on.
Wrong, especially about something well established. So anybody that makes a claim.
What has Neil deGrasse done?
What?
Who has Neil deGrasse proved wrong?
He's a science communicator, as am I. Okay. And Bill Nye.
Can we assume?
All scientists.
Can we assume, for the sake of this discussion, all of science is wrong? All the communicators are wrong. Everything.
Well,
hang on. Yeah. Everything is wrong that we know. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Everything we know is wrong. But Jeranism, can we now just move on to you providing something of evidence, something of substance that says this is what you look at. This will show that the Earth is flat. Let's assume that there's
sure.
Yeah, let's assume that everybody's wrong, and so we never went to the moon. We don't know what the hell's going on. Aron has never read a book or nothing. Tell him your argument of why the Earth is flat, not why it's not round, but why it's flat.
Okay, so I think there's several ways we can prove it, and that they're not being proven, like a flight going across the South Pole from, say, Auckland, New Zealand to Cape Town. That flight doesn't exist. It's never existed. That clearly
why would a flight path like that prove a flat Earth? It just wouldn't, would it? I mean, they claim that the Antarctica goes around there's a circumference going around the flat Earth. And why would you fly across the South Pole anyway? There's just no reason. You're just going to waste fuel, aren't you?
Is much wider than the globe calls for. That's why there's no underground.
So are you saying then And this came up in the last conversation because I do know people that have been to Antarctica and they do this. Now, because of the hole in the ozone, there are dangers to be considered when flying over the South Pole. But they can do it. They have done it. But easier than that would be circumnavigating Antarctica. So we can fly to Antarctica. And I know somebody who's going to Antarctica in just a couple of months. No, I'm sorry. They're going in the winter.
Oh, Ellen MacArthur did it, didn't she? She went round and round and round Antarctica. Started bawling her eyes out as well. What a woman.
But they're going to in the winter on this hemisphere. But they're going to Antarctica, and they could circumnavigate the entire continent. And would that not verify it? If you were on the plane with them, would that verify it?
Do you know how long that takes?
Yeah, because
Okay.
and this is where I keep asking you for a model that you don't provide.
Hey,
Do you have a map? Are you using the standard United Nations projection?
Sure, for the most part. Yeah, I don't think that
For
the
the most
continents
part, where is there any difference?
the continents are probably not in those exact locations.
How are they different?
South America is probably a little bit closer or underneath North America than where they show it.
What
Probably.
shows that probability?
Probably.
Because flights that go from Sydney to South America seem to be shorter than what the globe would call for, and there's no flights that go between South America directly to
Flights
Africa.
from Sydney to where?
Sydney to South America, like Santiago.
From
So you can go Sydney to Santiago. It's in
Okay.
11 and a half hours.
Okay.
And that flight is said to be 6,000 miles. If that's
Okay.
true, with a 250 mile per hour jet stream going behind or going with them, then that means that the plane is going about 450 miles per hour, 400 miles per hour, which is ridiculous. No plane goes that slow, not a jumbo jet. So they're
They
probably
generally
going,
cruise about between 550 and 600.
right. So
Okay.
if they're going
So
600,
if
then
we take the general speed, how
going
long would
600.
it take? Now, if you're using your projection, I'm sure you've seen Cool Hard Logic's video on this, right? You
Yeah,
have
they-
to have seen it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool
It
World
has-
Logic. This is one of the guys, one of the first channels that I saw that took the mick out of flat Earth. So if you don't know Cool Hard Logic, go and check out his channel. It's absolutely hilarious. It is just my sense of humor. It's fantastic. What a channel! Oh, definitely one of my favorite channels.
Seen it.
Why
Everybody's
is
got to
it,
see it.
when you go
It's
to
great.
fly, when anybody has ever flown from
Mhm.
Johannesburg to Sydney, why has no one ever gone over the Himalayas?
What?
Why do they always see ocean beneath them? And why is it that they're able to do that in such a short period of time?
Are we talking Sydney to Santiago?
No, I was talking about
Okay.
Sydney to Johannesburg.
Oh, I'd have to look at the map. I don't know what you're talking about. The Himalayas. Is that where they would fly over on a flat Earth map? Let me
On a
look this
flat
up
Earth
here.
map, yes, you would have to go over the Himalayas.
So
Definite
you're talking
legend.
going
Definite
Sydney
legend.
to Johannesburg. No, I don't show that going anywhere near. No, it would be over water. I don't
On
see.
a
I
flat
don't
Earth
see that.
map.
Yeah, the map I'm looking at right now.
On a North Polar projection, where the North Pole is in the center of the disk.
Yes.
They would definitely, from Johannesburg to Sydney, they would have to go over the Himalayas.
Yeah, second best Bob. It does say a lot about him, doesn't it? And he doesn't have his subscriber counts. Now, I'm not really bothered. He doesn't have his subscriber count showing when you go to his channel either, which is a bit telling. To me, it is anyway.
I'll have to take a look. I'm looking at a straight line from there, and it doesn't. I don't see it going over that. But but you asked for why I think it's wider in the
So
south, right?
how long would it take to cover that expanse?
What
At
expanse?
600 miles an hour.
You're talking about 6,000 miles?
No, I said from Sydney to Johannesburg. On a flat Earth projection, how far is that?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. 8,000.
Okay.
I don't know. 7,000 miles. About you're just asking me a random two locations, and I'm supposed to know
I'm
the
not
distance?
asking you random numbers. You said you'd seen this video. Certainly you would have seen it because it's the biggest refutation that you have of your entire perspective. I would have thought that you'd have a counter argument for it, and you'd have a way of explaining how it is that I can book flights you can book flights right now from Sydney to Johannesburg, and you're going to get it within the expected time frame of a disk. Of a globe, and you're not going to ever find anything that matches the disk. You will
do
not
find
be
things that
able to
match
book
the disk.
flights.
There's a reason why every flight from South America needs to go up and hit London before it goes down to South Africa. It doesn't go across.
Every flight from
Yeah.
South. Okay, hold on. I'm going to check that.
That's just not
So
true.
you're going to check from South America,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to find a flight that goes directly to, say, Cape Town.
Give me a city.
Cape Town.
Okay.
And I want to know what the time distance is there, and then
Cape
we're going
Town,
to look
South Africa.
Yep. And then when we look at a globe, we'll see that that's a.
Okay, Cape
a
Town,
further
South
distance.
Africa to where?
I don't know. You go
Is
somewhere.
Jeranism's Google broke? I mean, what the? This is something that baffles me. It's the same thing with young Earth creationists. Because what they do is they constantly ask questions, and when you give young Earth creationists or flat earthers the answers, they just go, and it's exactly the same thing. They're so incredulous, and they're so bloody mind-numbingly stupid, and they're so denialists as well. They're absolute denialists. Even when you present them, even when you smack them in the face with some evidence, they just don't believe it. It winds me up. It really does. Oh, it flipping annoys me.
South America, somewhere
What do you want?
South America,
Santiago?
Argentina. Yeah.
And
Okay,
while
Santiago,
you're doing
sure.
that, I should note that I actually had Landon Kurt Knoll, very, very worldwide known computer scientist, astronomer, and mathematician, call me from the South Pole. He was standing on the South Pole on an Iridium satellite when he called.
That's true. Second
Well,
best.
then it's
video
got to
on
be
that.
part of the conspiracy.
So I mean, and he's one of the nicest, most upstanding persons that I've ever met. I mean,
Did he go across the South Pole? Did he cross to the other side?
how
guarantee
If
you
you're
he
on
turned
the
around.
South Pole, then yes.
How he got-
One foot is on one side, the other foot's on another
yeah
side.
how he got
Guarantee
there.
he turned around.
Well, hang on. How he got there? There's actually he tweeted out the map, and you can actually see it's called Traveling Astronomer, I believe, on his Twitter, and you can see where he went down there, and he literally was at the South Pole. Now he has actually no reason to lie about that. Nobody stopped him.
Nobody has no. What do you mean nobody stopped him? So now we're supposed to believe that people can go down there just alone? He went down there by himself?
Did I
So
say that?
everyone's lying,
I don't
is that-
think.
God. Do you know, this sort of thing just winds me up. Question everything, yes. But, there's no reason to lie about something like that, is there? I mean, it just drives me crackers.
That's what I said, though.
Okay, you
Spot on,
started to
Dog
say
Walker.
that
yeah,
down
if I
there,
book
nobody
on-
stopped him. Who was going to stop him?
The military.
Booking on
or something?
Travelocity, I've got Cape Town to Johannesburg. I go to Cape Town to Tambo, and then
You had to go north. Look at where Tombo is.
then it goes south. Let's see.
Also,
Where's the second one?
if you look at underground sea cables, there's not one that goes from Australia or New Zealand to South America. That's because if they ran those cables, they'd end up 2,000 or 3,000 miles short. So they don't exist.
So from Johannesburg to Sao Paulo.
Find a cruise that goes from New Zealand or Australia.
That is very true, second best Bob. I won't watch the non-sex show now, mainly because Cheshire Vic is one annoying bint. I don't know what it is about her. I just do not like her. She just really does annoy me. I've watched her a couple of times on her channel, and just one sec. Right, sorry about that. What was I saying? Yeah, Cheshire Vic. I've seen her on a channel a couple of times, and she says something, she starts saying something, and as soon as she stops saying something, she starts laughing. I mean, she just annoys me. She just really does annoy me.
to South America.
So
It
Cape
doesn't
Town to
exist.
Johannesburg, which is in the south. So it's exactly opposite of what you just said. You said they have to
Right.
go to London, but instead it goes from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Johannesburg is the international airport, and then you go from Johannesburg to Sao Paulo straight across, and you said that was impossible.
I didn't say it was
yeah.
impossible. It's further than it. So
You said
what is the
every
distance?
airline had to land in London.
No, I didn't say every. I said they all go
You said
up
from
north.
South America to Africa, they always have to go to London.
No time for
You know what? The
north.
very first one comes up on Travelocity. It doesn't. It goes Johannesburg straight to Sao Paulo. So you're wrong. Can we get an admission that you're wrong?
No, because I wanted to know what is that
You're not
distance.
going to admit that you're wrong. We can see it. We can all look it up. Everybody here can look up Johannesburg to Sao Paulo is a direct flight. They don't go to London.
In order for
And
me to
you're
be
not
wrong,
going to admit you're wrong.
no, because in order for me to be
we're
wrong,
done.
that flight needs to be a distance that is too far.
Right.
What is
so,
that? What-
so the fact that we can, you're going to tell me that I'm wrong, even though you can verify it yourself, which makes you a liar at this point, and we are done.
You can call it that if you want. I'm saying that if there's two locations that you want to say are as impossible on a flat Earth map, then bring those locations up.
I did twice.
Okay, what are those locations that are impossible on a flat Earth map?
The one you brought up and the one I brought up.
And I was telling you that a Santiago, Chile to Sydney is a flight that takes 11 and a half hours, and that means that the plane is going 400 miles per hour.
So Santiago, Chile to Sydney.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that
And
flight
I'm going to run that one.
Okay, it's either going 400 miles per hour with a 250 mile per hour wind going with it, which gets it there 6,000 miles in 11 and a half hours,
And
or
it has to stop where?
doesn't stop anywhere. It goes straight. So what
It's
I'm
a
saying
direct
is,
flight.
Interesting.
yes, that's the flight that everyone says is a flat Earth killer. But
That is something that you could never ever accuse Jeranism of being. Is interesting because he's not. He's just got the most monotone, boring, frigging voice, and he's just all round stupid. And I'm getting angry again, and I'm very sorry.
you just take the 650 and you add the 250 miles per hour, and now that plane is going. What would that be? 900 miles per hour. Well, now all of a sudden,
we don't have to worry about whether there's a headwind or a tailwind. It doesn't matter because it gives the estimate for the flight regardless which direction the wind's going.
correct.
So
That's why that one flight takes
makes
4 hours longer
Are
than
you
the other.
saying that one has to go to London? Is that the one you were saying had to go to London?
Nope, I'm just saying either the plane is going 400 miles per hour on the trip from Sydney to Santiago.
So you're gonna pretend that argument never happened? You never said that there was you couldn't do a direct flight from then?
You
From
did,
there?
you did say there was no direct flight, and I think he found.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
one or
I
two.
think we're done. Jeranism is part of the big hoax. It's just a game. There's no substance here. He has no model. All he can say is he doesn't know, therefore he knows. We're done.
Yeah.
Do you know, I can't believe he has fans either, but I don't think he has as many fans as he's making out on his channel. I think that quite a lot of them, because there's a lot of debunking channels in there. You got Simon Down, Mr. Sensible. There's loads of them. Creaky. I love Creaky behind me. FTFE, he's a good guy. You know, there's loads of debunking channels, and you know, we all subscribe to, you know, these flat earth channels, so we know instantly when some more stupid pops out.
No, there are some people that want to ask some questions. I'm having to, you know, and I'm sorry, Darren, I get along with you,
position,
but yeah, so you know where I stand, right? But
well, obviously you've been trained in the.
I've been brainwashed. I'm part of the satanic
conspiracy.
Illuminati.
You're under the control of the reptiles.
Yes,
There we go again.
yeah, it's fine.
I said.
I'm fine to say that Satan is whispering in my ear that the Earth is round. I don't
I
care.
said that
As long as I know that we're looking at evidence. If I look at the evidence that with the shape of the Earth, I see nothing that is flat, and I see everything that points to it's round. All I would like to have a discussion.
You exist in space.
Let me finish.
We're floating around in outer space right now.
Let me finish, please.
You can see 25 trillion miles away. These are all things that you just have.
Yeah, let me finish.
Jeranism trying to throw him off now, and it's ridiculous, man.
I
ahead.
really want to have flat earthers come on and give us evidence that supports their position, not the rhetoric and not the uncertainty, because anybody can do that. I mean, anybody can have that as quote unquote argument. It's not an argument.
So how would you expect it to start? How would you expect the
I would
conversation?
expect you to start by giving me a model that I've
A
asked
model
you
would
for
be
a half
nice,
dozen
yeah.
times.
What do you mean a
True.
model? Well, you know my model.
No,
No.
I don't.
We know
You don't
your
either.
description. You have a description of the shape of the Earth. You don't have a
So what am I
model.
supposed
Have a model.
to explain to me what a model would look
what
like?
the planets were. You couldn't describe how gravity works in your model because it's not the same way that gravity works in anything else. You couldn't explain how the moon stays in the sky. You couldn't explain how we get the impression of the sun getting down to the
I did
how
explain
the
all that
sun
stuff.
appears to move through the sky at all. You gave no explanation for anything. You said you have no explanation for nothing.
Right.
You have absolutely butt kiss, except
didn't
that you
accept
know
any
that
of it.
everybody's wrong.
No, you don't accept what I'm telling you. That's on you.
What
Hey,
option do I have?
There's no
You
evidence
said
that you're
you
presenting
don't
for him
know
to.
What Jeranism is saying, he's not backing it up with anything. It's just his opinion. He's not backed it up with any maths. He's not backed it up with any photographic evidence. He's not backed it up with anything. And when he said, like, you know, flight plans, they've got to go to London and then not pop off to somewhere else, Aron just proved him wrong on that one. And he's still not accepting it.
All you're talking
I
about.
did
I
present
agree
evidence of
with
all
you.
of them.
Absolutely. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what the answers are. I agree.
So but I think that's the
Fantastic. We're on the
point,
same
Jaron. Hang on. If what Aron's saying is, if you present to him some evidence he can evaluate, then that's one thing. But all you're doing is saying, I'm not an expert in this. I know nothing about the top.
Evidence, and he refuses to accept it.
Hang on. No, well, actually, no. He actually looked into it and he found your evidence was wrong.
Any reasonable person could accept.
Yeah.
Okay, I told you about, I just said, look at a hallway, and you said that never would the light disappear from your eye
That's
as
correct.
far as it went down.
Right.
Okay,
So that
false
just proves your point. So what did you give me that I could accept, or that any reasonable person could accept?
As I'm telling people to go do their own research. And
Interesting.
you
Yeah,
watch.
you're telling people to go do their own research, in which case they will invariably see that I am correct and full of shit.
Then
So
flat
what
earth
did you
will go
tell
away.
me that I could accept, or that any
You don't have to
reasonable
worry.
person could accept as
Hold on,
evidence of your position?
You guys don't have to
He
worry.
proved that the ISS is really up there because he did something, I think, with Red's Rhetoric, where they photographed, or Jeranism did it on his own, where Red's Rhetoric, where Jeranism, he actually photographed the transit of the ISS over the moon. That was funny. And Jeranism still denied that the ISS exists. What a dick.
Because flat earth will go away if it's in your case of what you're saying is true, but you watch, it will continue to grow. And the reason why is because people will wake up to the fact that they've been lied
There's no
to.
fact to wake up to, and you haven't
Right.
demonstrated any fact
Of course,
either.
because you've already bought into it. Your whole life is built around the
I
idea
haven't
that you
bought into
Totally agree with that
anything.
second best,
You
Bob. Totally agree.
literally did not provide a fact. You said there was a fact that the
So
conspiracy
listen,
had to hide, but you never
how
said
do
what the
you-
fact is.
How do you not get it that you accept the facts that support your position? You don't accept
If
anything
they're
else.
facts, that
Right, of
means
course
that they
they
are
are.
data that can be objectively verified. You haven't
Sure.
given me any data that could
And
be
if-
objectively verified that was in support of your position.
Sure, and a Christian would tell me that it's a fact that
What?
Jesus rose
It
from
doesn't
the
matter
dead.
how Christians lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm not lying to you. Like
Okay.
you're lying to me. So
Okay, I'm
give
lying to
me
you?
a fact,
Tell me
objectively
where I lied to you.
verifiable data that supports your position. What
you
is
just
it?
said that you just said you weren't going to call people liars unless you could prove. So where did
That's
I
right.
lie to you?
That's right. And you've done nothing but try to straw man me and project your own faults onto me and then accuse me of things that I didn't do or didn't say or didn't think. So,
No.
and then you said that you had created a fact, or that there was this fact that they were trying to hide, but there was no fact. So I'm challenging you now to present the fact that this conspiracy is trying to hide. What is that fact?
Okay, so I told you about George Ellis, who's in the business of cosmology, who has said that cosmology is trying to hide things from you. You can look back to Edwin Hubble. Edwin Hubble saying that when observations showed that either we could be the center or we might not be, they decided to go in the direction that we are not the center, not
You don't
based on
understand the argument
observations.
there. That's not what he was talking about.
Who was talking about
So
what?
he's mentioning Ed Hubble. Oh, for goodness sake. Again, Hubble knew the Earth was round anyway. Oh, Jesus, this guy, Jeranism. What a dick.
When Hubble being the center of the universe, that's something completely different.
Edwin
Very
Hubble.
true.
Then what?
Very
Different
true,
than
Charlie.
what?
He's talking about the cosmic expansion.
Yes,
and again,
exactly.
And from our perspective in the galaxy,
Correct.
it would actually be that from any perspective, anywhere in the galaxy, it would appear that we
that's-
were at the center of the galaxy,
that's
or it
what
would
you-
be
that's-
not the galaxy, the universe.
Correct.
That
That's the
anywhere
direction
in the
they went.
universe that we are would appear from our perspective to be the center of the universe.
You're
That's not
explaining
the thing that
exactly
you're talking about right now.
what I am
So
talking
what is
about.
the fact that
I
they're
am talking
trying
about all
to
those facts.
conceal?
That's what I'm saying. These things they're trying to hide from you. That's what I'm telling you.
What
I-
things are they trying to hide from me?
The fact that you don't live
Sorry
where
about
you
my
think.
squeaky chair. Sorry. It's doing me head in. Mrs. Jones did promise me a new chair. And as you can see, she's not popped up on that promise just yet. But she said she will. And I believe her.
You live.
Where do I live?
You live on Earth. You live on this plane of existence.
Okay, show this a plane. There you go. Show it's a plane.
What is the fact?
Show the fact that it is a flat. Well, show the fact that it's flat.
So you can look at let's just say the AE map. Go ahead. Believe in that. Go ahead. Trust that.
I don't need to believe in anything. Don't make me believe in anything. Give me the fact, the objectively verifiable data that the conspiracy is trying to hide.
Okay, the fact that we live on a plane Earth, you can look at the logo for Jeranism.
The objectively verifiable data is that we live on a sphere.
Did you catch that then? You can look at the logo, and he was going to say the United Nations. You can look at the logo. Give me Aron Ra says, give me an objectifiable fact that, that the Earth is flat. Well, you can look at the United States logo. Right, okay. So, if I look at a photograph of an elephant, does that mean elephants are flat? No, it doesn't, does it?
And you're going to tell me that living on a flat Earth, something that is not supported by any evidence whatsoever and is contradicted to all observations, you're going to say that that's the fact?
It's contradictory to all
That's
observations?
not a fact.
Okay.
All facts are objectively verifiable data.
Okay,
if you had objectively verifiable data, this conversation would have ended an hour ago.
Okay, so scientific consensus is that the neutron star weighs 24 billion pounds. So you believe
that?
Oh
my God! Okay, stop.
No,
okay, we're not going. No. We're not going down. No. Time out. Moderator controls. We're not going down. No, Jeranism. Hang on, Jeranism.
Can I talk for a second?
No, you can't. Jeranism. Stop.
Unbelievable. Nobody mentioned a neutron star. Nobody mentioned, and up pops Jeranism or Jism. Up pops Jism and says neutron star. Why is that? Scientific consensus. Oh, Jism, come on. Play the game.
Stop. First of all, when the moderators say stop, you stop. Okay? This is a discussion, but not a debate. But listen, but we're going down too many rabbit holes. If you guys want to have Q&A, we're going to have Q&A. But I'm not going to. But I don't know where this is going, Jern, because all you've done is you've just given more rhetoric on top of more rhetoric on top of more rhetoric. There has been absolutely nothing substantive that you have said since we've started. Absolutely freaking nothing. And and by the way, I want to make this very clear. I am not unbiased here. The Earth is round. There's no anti-bias here. I am straight up telling people it's round. But I'm still going to be a fair moderator, and I will not allow somebody to sit there and just have rhetoric after rhetoric after rhetoric after rhetoric. I don't think it's fair to Aron. It's a waste of his time.
Right. Sure, and if he gets to bring to the table all of scientific fact and call it evidence, and then demand from me to disprove what he believes in with fact and evidence, when only what he considers fact and evidence supports his position, then you are out of your mind to think that I have any chance.
I'll take anything that qualifies as fact.
We'll allow you the same opportunity. Yeah, exactly.
I'll take anything that qualifies as evidence, meaning objectively verifiable data that's positively indicative of one conclusion over any other. I'll take anything that qualifies.
Jism's been given that chance to offer up something, evidence, anything. He's been given that chance, and he can't say that he has, but he's trying to deny it now.
As those things, you've got neither. Nothing.
Here's what I'm trying to point out, though, that you think that an objectionable fact is that you can see 25.
Objectively verifiable.
Thank you. You think that you can see 25 trillion miles. You think that you can see that. So what I'm trying to point out.
No, nobody can. Not with a human eye. No. The sun is, 93 million miles away, and all you are seeing is light from the sun. So if the sun exploded, you wouldn't know until, 7 or 8 minutes after the sun exploded that it actually has exploded. You wouldn't know that. All he's seeing is he's trying to misrepresent it, like young Earth creationists do with evolution. He's just trying to misrepresent everything. You don't see an object that's 73 trillion miles away or what have you. You just see the light that's coming from that object. What a dick.
The people.
Yeah.
Is that if you accept that as a fact, then guess what?
You have a fact that indicates that I cannot.
That's all we've been asking from the beginning. Okay, great.
You have a fact.
You can't.
That indicates somebody.
Yeah, because somebody tells you that you can doesn't mean that you can.
I'm going to ask you one last time, and this will be the last.
You're a dog walker. True.
Can you give me a fact, objectively verifiable data that indicates a flat Earth?
that there's no curvature, that there's no measurable curvature on the Earth.
That's an opinion, not a fact.
You can measure all the. Gotcha. Okay.
What do you mean it's not
that's an opinion, not a fact.
Because you claim the things that you
fact.
believe in as facts. So what do you
But I
expect me
can
to bring?
demonstrate, and
How would
we're
I
done.
bring?
All right, demonstrate there's no curve.
Demonstrate that there's no curve. We have.
He said, what would I bring? Measurements. If you think the Earth is flat, then it must have a beginning, it must have an end, it must have a circumference. If you think that the Earth is one flying magic Jaffa freaking cake, then, or a milk chocolate hobnob, hello, McVitie's, if you want to sponsor, I'm your man. But anyway, if you think the Earth is a giant floating McVitie's chocolate hobnob, right, then you should have some measurements. You should have a way of measuring it. Jism does absolutely frig all.
There's been
apart from Prove the Globe.
How about 165 miles being able to see the peak of Canigao? You know, why can we see that far into the distance when we shouldn't see more than 40 miles at that height?
I'll answer that because it's a phenomenon that only happens twice a year in February and October. That's why you can't see it. If the Earth was flat, you'd be able to see it all year round, but you can only see Mount Canigou from a certain distance in February or October. So, Jaffa cakes, yeah. So you can only see it twice a year. But if the Earth was really flat, why can't you see it all year round?
Be 4 to 5,000 feet below the horizon. Now you must believe that it's being lifted up and placed for you at the horizon line. That's why we see things beyond the horizon. That's ridiculous.
We don't see things beyond the horizon unless there's atmospheric conditions that allow for atmospheric transduction, I believe.
So then atmospheric, this is what I'm asking. The atmospheric refraction then is causing mountains to be lifted up and placed at the horizon that are not distorted, that are not disfigured. They are actually right there where you can see them at the horizon line. You're saying that is a distortion of the atmosphere?
Well, there's atmospheric distortion, but this. Okay, look at. All I want you to do, and again, I'm making it very clear to people. I'm very biased in this because I am not a flat earther. I'm very much anti-flat Earth. Let's just get out that out of the way. Say I'm a shill. Say I don't care. I don't think Aron cares.
Didn't say any of that.
But no, but people that are watching for the future reference, that's fine. All we're trying to do is have a discussion where you provide evidence to Aron that is objectively verifiable that the Earth is flat. That's it.
Okay, but if you were to, and again, I'm speaking hypothetically, if you were going to perpetrate some sort of hoax on humanity, then you would make sure that the people who believe in the hoax.
So we're back to the conspiracy rather than the objective facts. This is why Aron doesn't want to continue the conversation.
We don't have any indication. There's not even a possibility of the hoax. The hoax would have to be universally cohesive, and it would have to be centuries long, and it would have to involve everybody everywhere, since everybody can look up on a new moon and see that there is a darkened disk where there is not sun.
I do have an opinion about plain chocolate. It is absolutely the most, apart from P&M soup, it's the most disgusting thing that's ever been invented. It really, really is. It is horrible. Plain chocolate, it's disgusting. P&M soup, again, disgusting. Brussels sprouts, yes, disgusting. Pineapple on pizza, yes, disgusting. Jesus wept. Plain chocolate. Ugh. Oh, God. I feel sick now.
Light reflected off the surface of the moon.
Steve,
so we all, absolutely everybody on the planet knows that Jeranism is full of shit.
Well, hang on.
So we're done.
Hang on.
Still going.
What is it, Jaron, that you want me to step in and add?
Can we see the blackened disk of the moon during the new moon?
Yeah, you could.
What?
Yeah, there's well, you ever heard of Earthshine?
Yeah, Earthshine, yeah.
During eclipse, same kind of thing. Yeah. But I mean, I think that people have been able to see that. Now, I don't bother with that. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I've seen. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay, so people check into that because obviously it's an objectively true fact.
But that's not going to get you the flat Earth, though. Either way.
I didn't say it would give me the flat Earth.
Then
my opinion.
Then what is it about flat Earth that if I said, look, I'm trying to be, I'm seriously, I really am trying to be fair in this. I really am.
There's only evidence is that we have evidence of a curvature, and he says we don't have the evidence that we have. That's his evidence, is we don't have the evidence that we have, and that we don't know what we know. So he knows that we don't know what we know.
If I said I have no idea what the shape of the Earth is, and I've asked you this question before, Jaron, I actually said if I had no idea where, what the shape was, where would I go to look for the evidence to come to a position? And your only answer was, go watch your videos. And then when I asked for primary sources, you didn't have them available.
Right,
have you subsequently found any primary sources that aren't, or anybody else can go to and say, okay, look at this source. Now you can see that the Earth is flat. And I'm not talking about YouTube videos. I'm talking about an independent, objective source.
Do you think a conspiracy would be possible?
How are you doing, Rob? Anyway, I hope you well.
What you're
Okay, we're back to the conspiracy.
The conspiracy wouldn't be possible regardless. You can't have a conspiracy
you can't have
going
a conspiracy
for centuries on that everybody can refute so easily. All you need to do is take a...
Yeah, spot on, dog walker. You can't you? It's like you can still see it. I mean, on a clear night when there's a new moon, you can't see the stairs behind the moon because the new moon's blocking out the moon. That's just one of the things. I mean, these flat earthers, I mean, what's the moon got to do with the shape of the Earth anyway? Nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. Yet flat earthers always bring it up.
Road trip toward a mountain, or get on a damn plane, or do as I've done, go to the Arctic Circle and then go to the Antarctic. See the world from both sides. No part of the flat Earth bullshit works. There's no explanation of the planets. There's no explanation for the moon. There's no explanation for the aurora borealis or the aurora australis. None of it. You can account for nothing. You said that all of these flights from South America to Africa would have to go to London. No, bullshit. They don't. They're direct flights. You're wrong about being wrong about being wrong. Stop.
This is coming from somebody who thinks that. I mean, think of all the Big Bang is an objectively.
The Big Bang has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. Okay,
hold on a second. I'm trying to explain to you that your whole world is around this scientific enterprise that is a gigantic.
Yeah, let's. Is there any?
I'd like to be part of Q&A.
Yeah, let's get.
What's wrong with science? Jism seems to have this massive bee in his bonnet about science, and science has an agenda, and scientists are lying, and all the rest of it. Jism hasn't done a single nanosecond of research or learning or what have you that it took to build the internet. And yet here he is on the internet, on YouTube, spouting his jism all over the place. Ugh. Reminds me of Mrs. Jones that last night.
I'm not going to listen to this guy anymore.
Yeah, no, I understand. I know a lot of people have sent to the Twitter questions. Kyle, you have a few of them. Let's see what we can work on with those, because this is just going nowhere because of the rhetoric.
And it will always go nowhere.
Jeranism. According to a flat Earth model, the Tropic of Capricorn should be longer than the Tropic of Cancer. How come traveling along them takes the same time at the same speed?
That's what you think it does. So show me evidence that actually takes place. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Who said that?
For fuck's sake.
Again, so we book flights? All right. Are there any questions for me? Because otherwise I'm out.
Yeah.
Is there any questions for Aron?
None on my end, no.
I just let people know, and Aron, I don't know what his schedule is. Jaron, I don't know what your schedule is. I have to have an after show of this because I've got a lot to add to this, clearly. It will be on my channel in about a half hour after whenever we end this. But I'll take questions from the live feed as well. I mean, if you got something for Aron, please ask now. I mean, we have the audience as flat earthers, it looks like. So if they've got some legit questions, we'll sit here and answer them. I have no problem with that. Well, but it just I don't see the need to have a conversation about rhetoric. That's not conducive to anybody's knowledge about the shape of the Earth. You can't make an argument the shape of the Earth is flat because conspiracy. You can't make an argument that the shape of the Earth is flat because the scientists can be wrong. That's not an argument to be made there. And I think our position is similar.
Of having a religion, it just shows the accuracy of your.
If you want to argue against the globe, fair enough. Argue against the globe, but bring your own measurements to argue against the globe. Bring your own evidence instead of just saying, "Well, we see too far," or "I can't see the moon during a new moon." I mean, or moonlight is cold. Whatever it is, I mean, pack it in and just bring your own evidence instead of bringing your opinions. Dishonest dicks.
Position.
don't know what to tell you. The people who are actually watching this, who understand that science is not the end all be all, that they've made mistakes.
You mean like
and
me?
Sure. That science has always
Exactly,
been wrong,
Rob.
and they will continue to be
Exactly.
wrong in every aspect of everything.
We're always wrong about something somewhere.
Sure.
And the only way to improve our...
It has to be, a lunar eclipse has to be a flat Earth killer. It really does. If you understand how lunar eclipses work and all the rest of it, then it has to be a flat Earth killer. The flat earthers have come up with absolutely no reason why half the moon should blank out and why it's curved as well. Or they just haven't got a clue. Haven't got a clue whatsoever.
Perspective is to seek out the flaws in our current perspective and correct them, which is something that flat earthers will not do.
But if I was
given
arguing with
contrary
somebody,
evidence, you will not address it. When given the absolute vacancy of your lack of a model, you won't address that either. In your inability to explain, fuck all, you won't accept that either. So it really is incredulity. That's it. That's your whole argument. And we're done.
You can keep saying that, but you're coming to the table with this book of facts that you want to call evidence, that you want to call fact.
What I want to call evidence is objectively verifiable facts that are positively indicative of a particular conclusion.
Right, we can see
you don't have any objectively verifiable fact. Your objectively verifiable fact is that I don't have.
They can do it themselves. These flat earthers can do it themselves. Go down to the beach, wait for the sun to set, and lie on your stomach and on your chest, right? Watch the sun go down, and if you can time it just right, jump up and you'll see another sunset. You can do it with drones as well. Just do all that as well, and you can see the sun isn't shrinking at all. It never shrinks in angular size. Where are we?
Objectively verifiable facts, but I do have.
Okay, so hold on a second. Time out.
And I don't have a religion.
I want to talk.
So all you can do is lie both ways.
Doctor, how the devil are you doing, Doctor? I hope you're all right. And I've got you included on the caption thing at the top of the screen there. So, yeah, you've missed roughly about an hour, and I'll quickly go over, because you remember. Yes, I was supposed to have a chat with Matt Powell. This is what I said at the top of the live stream. I was supposed to have a chat with Matt Powell 1 a.m. Saturday morning. That's been pushed back now to 1 a.m. Sunday morning, I think. And we're going to chat about evolution, creation, and dinosaurs fighting themselves to death and surfing monkeys, etc., etc. I will be posting something in the on my community page as soon as I know something. And come and follow me on Twitter, and I will do exactly the same there. I'll start posting links and stuff.
Question. So what is your proof that the sun is 1.3 million times the size of the Earth? Tell me that alone.
I don't have proof of that alone. Okay, but I can prove that the Earth is a sphere.
Yeah, the question.
And you have no evidence. I mean, fuck all evidence. Zero. Any indication whatsoever that it even could be flat. Not just that it is flat, but it could be flat. Even that it could be. You don't have evidence that it could be flat. You are absolutely vacant. Nothing.
And the South is wider. I told you there's no flights across the South Pole. That the South is wider. That there's no cruises that go Australia. You just dismiss anything that goes against what you already believe.
That there are.
No, here's a good literally question. In real time show that was not the case.
Here's a good question.
He didn't show anything. He went on his computer.
Yes, I did. I got on Travel
Hold on. Let me ask
so Jeranism went from flights to cruises because he already got disproved on flights. You know, flights from Johannesburg to, I think, Santiago or what have you. He already got proved on them, so now he's changing it to cruises. You didn't prove any cruises. What a dick.
You're a joke, Steve.
And you are too...
Somebody who's looking at their computer
to admit when you were proven wrong in real time. You're part of the fraud. It's not a world war. It's a fraud. Flat Earth is a fraud.
All right,
time out, everybody.
Kyle, go.
Listen. I think this is a poignant question that kind of ties in everything to Jeranism. Is there anything that you would consider accepting as evidence for a globe model?
Absolutely.
Probably not. But just before, Doctor, yep, totally get it. He won't sidetrack me because I've got oodles and oodles of notes. Where are we now? I've already recorded my opening statement. I've all done that. I've got masses and masses and masses of evidence here and research because I don't know much about evolution, to be honest. And he wanted it billed as a creation versus evolution thing. And, so that's absolutely fine. And we will get to discuss the topics that I wanted to discuss with him. So it should be good. I'm going to be respectful, not use any profanity whatsoever, and I'm going to be nice, and it should be a nice, cordial discussion. So it should be good. Looking forward to it. But
why is
like
it
I
that there's
say,
no...
I will post links, etc., everywhere that I can, on every social media thing that I can think of.
flights that go across the South Pole? How come there's
What?
hundreds? How come there's... Trying to talk.
Give me that
Hello?
again.
Hello?
Give me that again.
Okay. How come there's no people that have gone across the South Pole?
You mean
And it-
how come there are people that have gone across the South
But
Pole?
people have gone across the South Pole.
So see what I'm saying? That I am
Yeah,
trying
I mean,
Well, I mean, it
Frank
doesn't really
just
matter. Look, it
mentioned
doesn't really matter
somebody
either way. If
who
there's
has been on the
Just-
South Pole.
if this was 10,000 years ago and there was no flights of any kind, the Earth would still be round, right?
Okay,
so
so
why
now
is this
that
even?
there's-
Hang on, Jer.
And then Steve
Why is
Gray
it? How is
just
this
Why have-
mentioned having spoken to somebody calling
from the South Pole?
right?
Yeah.
I didn't say the South Pole didn't exist. So where are you getting that from? What does
So
that make
you
a
said
difference?
cross the South Pole. If somebody's standing on the South Pole,
Yeah, he
they
crossed it to get there. I assure you.
No, I mean
1
cross.
foot
Go
is
to
a
the other
crossing.
side. Go to the other
Okay,
side.
so 1 foot is on the other side.
No, that's just you went further towards the outside of the Earth. What do you mean? That's not crossing the South Pole. You cannot
Okay,
get
so
from
in
one.
fact, you will not
Oh.
even accept when somebody goes to the South Pole.
I have
That
evidence
that's not
of.
crossing.
There's some girl that
What,
skied to
where
this-
have you moved your goalpost to now?
Oh, you can call it that all you want. I've talked to
I
some girl.
can
that-
be accurate
Yeah,
all I want. Yes, I can.
It's been
I can
exactly
accurately
moving
label you
goalposts,
all I want,
exactly.
and I will do.
Sure, good. Have fun with
So,
that. So there's
Where
a
have you
girl-
moved the goalpost to now?
Sure. There's a girl that has skied from the one side of Antarctica. She skied to the South Pole and then came right back. And I emailed her and said, why didn't you go to the other side? If I went to the South Pole, I would just cross over to the other side. She said they would charge me $75,000 more to be picked up on the other side.
Oh, the
Yeah.
flat Earth is confirmed then,
On
right?
one
yeah,
side,
fine,
confirmed.
The side
Oh,
closest
boy.
to Santiago is the side where there's the settlement. That's where you go. That's why you
Right.
don't cross to the other side where there's no point to pick up and there's no peninsula coming down. That's why they go to South Africa, or excuse me, to South America, where it's closest.
Yeah, that's why there's a.
So what is your problem with that?
So are all these nations that are against each other with the treaty that's all
So are
all
you
encompassing.
saying you will accept if somebody goes to the other side where there's no pickup point, and so the whole flat Earth movement will suddenly decide, oh, okay, he proved his point, and they'll all shut the fuck up?
There's a lot of things that could make the flat Earth go away
You
quickly.
already think that everybody is in a conspiracy, that the guy who was at the South Pole is a conspiracy, that I'm a part of the conspiracy.
Did I say
so
that?
what would you accept?
I don't think
You
you're part of
said
the
that all these
conspiracy.
flights from South America to Africa had to go to London first, and when I proved you wrong, you refused to admit it. So what will you accept?
What I said is that you can look at those flights and the distance, because you asked me, we were talking about the shape of the Earth, and I said South America is more towards underneath North America
Give me a
than it is.
specific.
What?
Give me a specific.
I did. Why is there no cruises that go
You gave
from?
me a specific, and I disproved you in
Oh,
the
so
same
now
minute.
it's cruises. Like I just said, now it's cruises. He's gone from flights because he's been proven wrong on flights, and now he's going over to cruises. What a dick!
And you refuse to concede your error. Give
Everyone's
me another
gonna-
one.
Everyone will see exactly what you're doing. You refuse to think
Yeah, I
of
hope
anything.
everyone sees exactly what I'm
Good.
doing. Disproving you.
Okay, so
Now give me
so
a
what is your?
specific that we
Sure.
can falsify.
There's no cruises that go New Zealand to South America. Why would that be the case?
Because it's a vast expanse of ocean. You have to go to Tahiti.
No, it's not. It's the bottom of the globe. It's
Yeah,
coming
it's.
down.
I'm sorry. No, if you
Bottom of the
check the
globe.
globe, there's a vast different distance between New Zealand and Tahiti, and from Tahiti, there's a particularly vast distance from there to Santiago. It's the widest expanse of open ocean that we have.
Okay, and there's
On a
also
globe.
Easter Island's on the way. Couldn't they go there?
No, Easter Island is not on the way.
Not on the way from New Zealand to
Santiago. No, it is not.
Santiago.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's right. It's right there. It's right in the same path.
It's right not there. It's way north of there.
Okay, so and why is there no underground sea cables there?
Because the reason I
What?
just
Oh.
explained.
Okay,
And-
so
and-
but they have the sea cables go
money.
all the way up through the Philippines and across through
They
Japan
have
and
the
across
sea cables go where they're traversable, where they're shorter distances. They don't go to the widest possible area they can. And
Okay.
Tahiti is extremely remote. Easter Island is even more remote. But they don't go to the most remote places to string cables to the most remote places. They go to the shortest places because, finance, costs, things like that.
Okay, so no
Well,
So
cruises.
the way to prove that would be to book flights, which we can show right now. Everything that you said
And
about the
I've just
distance.
found on a Google, Southampton to Sydney. Itinerary: Southampton, Freeport, Fort Lauderdale, Montego Bay, Panama Canal Transit, Huatulco, Manzanillo, Honolulu, Oahu, and then an overnight on board Apia, Suva, Auckland. Oh my God. Overnight on board Bay of Islands, Sydney, overnight on board, fly to the UK, arrive in the UK, overnight flight. Wow. So you can go from Southampton to Sydney on a cruise. Jism, get your head in the game, pal. You dick.
On your flat Earth projection map are all fucking wrong. Absolutely all of them.
What did I say? What do you mean? Absolutely all of them. You made
The
one.
flight from South America, it would have to go to London before it could go to South Africa. Just proved that wrong. And
Okay,
you
so-
refuse to admit it because you're part of
Yeah,
the
by
great
the way-
hoax. And you have
Yeah,
a
part of the
channel
great
that's
hoax.
based on your lying to people as part of your hoax. So, of
Yeah.
course, you're not going to admit when you're proven wrong.
And they are putting
and
links. They're putting links right now in the live chat of cruises
Mm.
from South America to Africa, a whole bunch of other places. I mean, they're literally putting links in there now, demonstrating that you are
I guarantee you,
incorrect,
people can look at them
Jeranism.
all and they'll be hilarious.
You guarantee? How the
I-
fuck
I
are you
don't
gonna
think that's the
guarantee?
case.
You've already been proven
Show me
wrong.
one, Steve. Steve,
How
click
can
on
you
one and show
guarantee
it.
something you've already been proven wrong about?
Steve,
What
click
the
it,
fuck
show
is
it.
your
Well,
guarantee? Are you
I
going to pay
can't
me?
right now, honestly, but people can
Are you,
definitely do it
are
after
you
the
going
fact.
to guarantee that eternal salvation or triple my money back? What are you going to do?
Nope, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I don't have any
where's these
guarantee like that.
guarantees coming from, Jaron? When again, I don't understand the argument that okay, cruise ships do this or cables do this. If none of those things existed, it has jack shit to do with the shape of the Earth. If I went back in time a million years ago, what
But what
evidence
about-
would I look at to see that the Earth is
The
flat?
fact
It's the
that we
same as
can-
it is today.
Is it true, Rob, that if you go to Antarctica for any length of time, like 6 months to years and what have you, Mrs. Jones said that they take your pancreas out? And I don't know why. I said this is impossible. If anybody knows, just let me know in the side chat, because it just sounds absolutely crazy to me. Yeah, let's lay down some sea cables to Easter Island where virtually nobody lives. Yeah, of course, yeah. Because, for business reasons, if you want to make a load of money, you're going to have an airport on Easter Island, aren't you? You're going to have an enormous harbour on Easter Island, aren't you? You're going to have an enormous runway on Easter Island because it makes business sense to build these things on an island or a set of islands, a group of islands. It makes enormous business sense where absolutely nobody goes. Well done, Jism. What a dick.
What am I
that we
looking
can
at?
See too far. The fact that
But we
can
don't
see
see
too
that.
far.
We see what
we
we're-
do see it everywhere. We see it all around the world, and
I-
you're not even listening to that. You just
I
have
don't see
dismissed
that
it.
though.
The fact that we
Well,
can see what?
We can see too far.
What does that mean?
The fact that we
we
can
can
see
see too
too
far.
When the sun goes below the horizon,
far?
we can't see it.
Okay, when you can see locations on Earth from further than the globe model predicts.
Then
That
where is
should
the
be-
evidence for that? Because I have never seen that except for certain tropospheric conditions.
It doesn't.
where you have
It doesn't. Does it? And you're a doctor, and you should know these things. No, and removing a pancreas. No, I've never heard that, and that's what Mrs. Jones says, and she swears blind. And of course, Mrs. Jones, being a woman, obviously, knows everything.
Everywhere that you see,
there are
like,
certain
for
places
instance,
where light will
Appendix,
bend
no,
and
she
it will
said,
actually go through the
she said
atmosphere, and you can see a little bit
pancreas.
further. But that has very
Okay,
special
but that's not what's
conditions.
going on because right, and we know when those conditions exist,
Sure.
they create mirages or upside down Fata Morganas.
Fata
or
Morganas,
some-
yes.
Okay, but when we see the Chicago skyline from
Same
Michigan,
principle.
Wait, hold on. Time out now, Steve, because you're saying that, and it's you're objectively
So we see
wrong.
that we see the same thing
and
all
you're
year round.
objectively wrong in the claims that you made earlier multiple times.
So
let's get
all
to
year
Q&A.
round
That
we
makes
can
the
see
globe
something.
true, I guess. So
That and a billion other things, yeah, and the fact that so we have this billion things that make the globe true, and then we have the absolute fucking donut bunghole that you produced to support your position.
Yeah, and if
I don't know shit, and I refuse to know shit is your argument.
No, it's
very
that
true,
we can see too far.
very
There's
true.
the argument for you. Just like there's no
I don't even
curvature.
see how
You don't
that's an
see
argument.
too far.
Yeah, that's not
And
even
see how that's an
You're-
argument that we
Seeing
can
too
see
far
backward?
is not an argument, is it? It just isn't. I mean, if I drive down a long country road, and it's nice and flat and everything, I drive down this country road, the sun is beaming, absolutely beaming, not a cloud in the sky, but I see a wet patch in the distance. It's like saying, oh, God, these people, these flat earthers, they just wind me right up.
Sir,
Your
that you
fact,
should be able to.
you said the fact that you had that supported the flat Earth was that I didn't have the facts that I have, that everyone has. That those facts don't exist. That was your fact.
And
It's not
because-
that they don't exist,
because-
you're missing the
Steve,
point.
I'm going to back out of this altogether if you don't get me to the Q&A.
Yeah.
Just remember, you
one
asked to
sec,
talk
one
to me.
sec. Jaron,
I
by the
never
way,
thought-
Jaron, by the way,
I'm sorry, Doctor. I hope you're feeling better now. Is everything okay and everything?
Remember, I
Jaron,
I
didn't
know
ask to talk.
that I suffer quite a bit from mental illness as well, so I do have some experience with it.
To you.
It's not nice.
yeah, I've been,
Other
I
than
have,
ask me to
Jaron,
talk to you.
I have
Steve,
been,
did you
And
Jaron.
they
Jaron,
promised me they
Steve,
would
did
be
you tell me that?
frustrating. They
Yeah.
promised me that I would need a bunch of alcohol to get through your
I
mind.
did tell him
Ending
that.
gobbledygook.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
I
You
was,
were right.
I was true to my word on that. So, Jaron, let me
Yeah.
tell you this.
Wait, what do you mean
I
you're true to your
hang on,
word?
because I am
You
true to
told
my
me
word.
that-
I'm very honest.
You told me
Look
Aron
at
Ra
look
wanted
at
to talk to me. That's what you
So
said.
look-
Aaron.
Aaron,
Aaron.
not Ron. Yeah. So I've been in the Navy, and I
Can you
can.
answer the question?
Hang on.
Did you-
let me
did
let
you
me
lie to
address
me,
one
Steve?
thing. I would never lie to
Steve, did you
anybody.
lie to me?
No,
Then why did you tell me that he wanted to speak to me?
I have not. I haven't even
I've
arranged
been
this.
looking
Kyle
to talk
did,
to a
but
flat earther for more than
Yeah,
a
he's
year.
been-
Every
yeah,
time I got
exactly.
a
I'm
flat
glad you.
earther to talk
I'm glad
to.
Yeah.
I had been
everything's well with
trying
you.
for more than a year to get any flat earther to come onto my podcast. None of them would, including yourself.
it's
do you
been
mean?
it's been a
I'm
difficult
right here.
challenge.
Yeah, you're right here now
right,
because
so-
they invited you, but you refused my invitation
When was that?
a year ago.
I never refused anybody's invitation,
There we go.
ever.
Well, you never responded either. And
Well,
I
you
asked
sent it-
several people to ask
Oh, I
for
can't.
me
Oh,
in
Okay,
all the
well,
little networks to connect
No
me
one-
to a flat earther that would come onto my podcast. Nobody.
I would have done it.
But I do want to make
yeah,
the point.
It's easy to say now.
I do want to make the
Okay,
point
well.
before we get more questions. If you see a ship go over the horizon, I can have the most powerful telescope in the world. You're not going to see the bottom of that ship. So what
Yeah,
you said
yeah.
about not being seeing too far is complete bullshit. Just straight
That's
up.
not true. If you,
Well, it is.
It is an experience, and my experience with it has made me a bit stronger. All right, so the only quarantine for 2 weeks before going. Yeah, can imagine that.
I'm
I-
telling you right now, it's complete bullshit.
I hope
You'll
I-
never
I'm
have-
gonna
you can
demand
never see the
that we
bottom
get
unless-
somebody that can show some kind of
Yeah.
peer-reviewed, verifiable claim to that effect.
Yeah, unless it's
Show
like I
me
said,
that
atmospheric
happened.
conditions.
Get some scientists counter to that to verify and test it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's even
But
the
then they're
point
going to
is
be part of the conspiracy, won't they?
you only
Right.
allow the scientific
Very true,
verified
Doug Walker,
papers and
very
peer-reviewed
true.
papers. That's the only thing that you consider
don't allow
fact.
bullshit. That's why.
Right, of course you don't.
Bullshit is not allowed to fly. So if you make a
Excellent hope.
claim, you have to back it up, and then we have to be able to check your figures
No,
and
back it up,
duplicate.
and it has to be able to be gone through the peer review system of protectors that are there to weed out anything that doesn't match and mirror.
Steve,
exactly
why am
what
I
they
still
say.
on
I
this
don't know.
channel?
I don't know either.
Are we going to do a Q&A?
Yeah,
or am I
Q&A.
dropping out?
Kyle, we got some more
All right, I get
questions.
it a bit
Kyle,
bad.
'Cause I agree. This is not going anywhere. Because
The only other one that I have on my end from the Twitter, I'm not watching the live
Something
chat,
about
Steve, so
right.
you'll have to
I am.
go that route. But the only other one that I have is why would there be a conspiracy in the first place?
And
I
I've
guess
said
they're
that
asking
before.
What you
like
need
why
is
that
density.
would be an issue.
I've said that before,
That's
that
it.
science did a great thing when they stole the idea of, I don't know, not control of the earth, but when they took the control of the earth away from the church. They did a great thing that we don't want to be a part of the Catholic hierarchy right now. So they did a
I
fantastic thing.
wish that we had taken control over from the church.
Well,
That would be wonderful.
Well, you kind of did, but then what happened was if they would have
Not in
realized
this
that-
country. Have you noticed what's going on in this country?
It's pretty sad. Yeah, it's like 78% of people think that they're going to heaven or something. So when you look at that and you understand that if they were wrong about something like the shape of the earth, that it would have been impossible for them to admit that, because it would be giving the reins back to the church. They would have basically destroyed all of scientific enterprise by admitting that. So they had to keep it a secret. They had to work it into their models and just go with it, because otherwise there would be no science today.
But the problem I have with that, Jaron...
Why haven't there been any whistleblowers ever since that time? You'd think that if you piss off so many people, you'd think there'd be at least one whistleblower on his deathbed saying, right, the earth is flat. You'd think that, wouldn't you? But there hasn't been, because Jeranism and Jism is a dick.
Is that in order to do that, they have to change the laws of physics. They have to change mathematics. Oh, they absolutely do. That's an unequivocal reality. Laws of physics are not prescriptive. They're descriptive. We don't get to make them, right? We discover them and we formulate them, but we don't get to decide the rules of the universe. And the rules of the universe do not allow for the type of flat Earth that I've seen people, posit. But you haven't even posited a model that we could even look at. And I don't think you know what a model is. A model is it's a representation of a system that has explanatory and predictive abilities. That's what a model is. I have not yet to see a model.
Okay, if you're going to contest the current existing model,
correct,
you have to provide another model that explains the data better. You can't not provide all and just say everybody's wrong. That doesn't work.
And that's the key. Describes it better and predicts better. What is it about a flat Earth that explains observations and makes predictions better than something like Stellarium? Stellarium is a wonderful program. A lot of people have it. It basically is based on a round Earth. Hang on. And I can look at. I can go into Stellarium and I say what day is this? Where am I at? And what will I see? Including
the universe is cyclic. It's a cycle.
Including things like eclipses. Now, why can't you do that with a cycle? Why can't you do that with the flat Earth? If I placed Stellarium,
do that with the flat Earth. What do you think?
Okay, so
give me the model.
What model for a flat Earth allows you to do that?
With the flat Earth. Yeah. If you can do that with the flat Earth, then produce the model. Give me the predictions. Let's submit it to peer review.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to be closing out the show in about 4 or 5 minutes. I hope that's okay, because number one, I'm busting for a pee and I'm not streaming on a stream. And for two, I've got to get the tea on because Mrs. Jones is due round.
To a bunch of guys who have built their entire careers around the globe. They're really going to accept
it to me. Submit it to anybody that can prove you wrong.
Exactly.
If you're wrong.
The thing is here,
and this is the way the peer review works.
Well, Rob, it would have to go back to biblical times, wouldn't it? Or even before biblical times. Definitely. But, flirts just don't think about things like that, do they?
We have to admit, hey, we tried and we couldn't prove you wrong. But I've already done that a couple of times this evening.
And people understand that if I were to prove that the Earth was flat, that it means that your whole idea of atheism is ridiculous, which it is.
Okay, first of all, it has nothing. We're not going to go down that route.
Hold on. He's just revealed his hand.
All right.
Why would my idea of atheism be ridiculous?
Because it depends on the age of the Earth. It depends on so many things.
Wait. Atheism depends on the end of the Earth?
Why would a God have anything to do with my understanding of the age of the Earth?
Yeah, I don't understand that one
either.
You
said it was with the flat Earth, that it's a created entity.
You said if the Earth was flat, then it would disprove atheism, meaning that it would prove the existence of a God?
How does that leap of logic work?
Well, that's what atheism is the position that the theists are incorrect when they claim there's a God.
Are they? How about theists, or what about deists?
Fingerprints.
Are deists claiming there's a God?
Yes.
Okay, then deists and theists are incorrect when they're claiming they're a God.
I don't see how one proposition has shit to do with the other proposition.
Atheism is the position that those who pretend to know what they don't know and stress facts that are not facts and claiming that there are gods when there's no evidence of such things. We say you can't make those assertions without evidence to back them.
Okay,
so
but then
you're saying that if the Earth was flat, then that would prove my position on atheism wrong. And the only way that atheism can be wrong is if there is a God. So you're saying that proving that the Earth is flat would prove there's a God?
Right, because the whole idea of
is God the only way that the Earth can be flat?
I don't understand what this thing is with atheism and the Earth being round. It's the two just aren't compatible at all. It's like when they're saying, when young Earth creationists are saying, well, the atheistic view of evolution is such and such a thing. And there's no such thing as atheistic evolution. It's madness.
What?
Is God the only way that the Earth can be flat?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
that.
it certainly doesn't exist in a
Okay, so
accidental.
I have to wonder why you said you didn't believe in any religion at the beginning of this.
Because I think all religions are made by man, just like the religion of scientism. Same thing.
Okay.
They're run
There's
by
no
man.
religion of scientism. That's a lie that is told only
I agree. Religions are made by man. Yes, definitely. I do agree with that.
by theists.
I'm not a theist, so I don't know.
Well, you
what
just told the
Are
same
you
lie.
are you a deist? Are you a
And
deist?
you apparently believe that there is a God, since you say that the Earth is
Sure,
flat,
but I don't
and
like
that
to
it
say
is
that
proof that a
because
God has to
Well, hang on,
exist.
you don't like to
Therefore,
say
you
it,
believe
but
in a God,
Jared,
I
right?
don't like to say it because people like
And you
guys
tell
will
the
think I
same
mean
lie
like
that
the Christian
scientism
God.
is a religion,
Scientism
even though
is a religion.
it works exactly opposite of all
No
religions.
idea.
Jared, you do
Turtle.
believe God
No
exists. You
It's
do
idea.
not faith-based.
Jared,
It
you
has
do.
to be verified.
It wouldn't
Jared,
surprise me if
tested.
there were, buddies.
Hang on one second.
Critical analysis, not faith. And
But
authority.
I think Jaron would be the wrong sort of Christian for Matt Powell's beliefs, I think. Because I've heard Kent Orvind say or mention or ridicule like Jehovah's Witnesses, but I don't get this whole thing with Catholics and Protestants and etc. etc. I don't get it. You know, you all pray to the same God, so why the difference in opinion? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Is worthless.
Jeranism, you believe a God?
Authority
You
is
believe at
worthless,
least
but
one
that's
God
what
exists,
you
right,
base your
Jeranism?
entire thing off of.
Scientism.
You believe-
What are you
It's a
saying?
lot of bollocks, isn't
You
it?
base your entire beliefs off of authority and off
I don't
everything.
base any of my beliefs on authority at all.
You have objectionable
He does,
evidence for me
Doctor,
to see
yes.
that the Big Bang is real.
Yes.
Where's the evidence
Objectively
for that?
verifiable.
Yes.
Yeah, where's
Objectively
that?
verified. It's called the cosmic microwave background radiation
That's the okay. So that's because
That and the
That's
cosmic
a good
redshift.
one.
and the redshift, cosmological redshift.
However, neither
No,
of those
that
things
could-
has anything to
redshift-
do with the topic
Yeah,
we're talking
nothing
about
at all.
right now.
Well, then again, it's a rabbit hole after rabbit hole.
Neither of them.
Yeah,
Neither of them has anything to do with the
they
topic we're talking
absolutely
about
do.
right now.
They absolutely do because you keep.
They
saying
absolutely
you're
do not. They are a red herring
Mm-hmm.
to get away from this topic that you can't defend.
No. In a
right
court
now.
of in a court of law,
We're
you
talking
need to
about
prove,
whether in a court
No,
of law,
Ken-
we'd be talking about whether the Earth is a sphere,
no,
not
you
where
would
it came
prove-
from.
You would prove
So
credibility.
we don't
and the
have to
credibility
worry
is
about the
trash.
Big Bang if
The
we're talking about
credibility
whether
is
the
trash.
Earth is a sphere.
The credibility shows.
There are
in the-
even if it was a steady state
Hey, doesn't-
universe, the Earth would still be a
Dog
sphere.
Walker, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that they get triggered. It really doesn't. Right, it's just after 8:15, so I'm going to close things out. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's watched the stream, that's stuck with me and everything. Thank you to all you guys, channel members, patrons, people who have liked, people who have commented and contributed in the side chat. I want to thank every single one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for subbing to my channel. Thank you for supporting my channel in whatever way that you do it, whether it's liking or commenting or sharing or what have you. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on the next one, which should be, hopefully, the chat between myself and Matt Powell. And then I will see you on Sunday, 8 p.m. for a Sunday stupid video. And don't forget, next Friday, we'll finish this off. I think there's about 20 minutes to half an hour left of this particular debate. We'll finish this off next Friday, 7 p.m. same time. And what else? What else do I need to do? Don't forget to join me on Wacky Wednesday, actually, for 8 p.m. Links to all my socials will be in the description. Patrons, memberships, Twitter feed, all the rest of it. So come and join me and let's have a chat. And if you think of any videos, actually, let me know in the comment section below this one. If you can think of any videos that you want me to cover, either on my playlist like the Wacky Wednesday or the Sunday Stupid, or on this live stream as well. If you can think of any videos, pop them in the comments below this here, and I'll have a look at them and see what we can do. So thanks to everybody that's watched. I will see you all very, very soon, and please take care, everybody, and be careful out there because it's a bit windy.